life's a journey. With God in disguise, ever half we walk out with man's I rise. In this podcast realm, we're diving deep, unraveling the threads that the universe keeps. A game of life, we explore, unfold dreams, empower minds, ignite those inner beams. Voices rise, tales of courage and strife. Welcome to the journey, the game of life, game of life. We explore, unfold dreams, empower minds, ignite those inner beams. Voices rise, tales of courage and strife. Welcome to the journey, the game of life.
What up, people? What's up, family? How we doing today? Happy Monday. Hope y'all doing well. I appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Any way you are engaging with the content, I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I wanted to do a part two of a video I released on October 9th, where I talked about when we're imagining this game of life and we're talking about the elites and what is their perspective, what are they trying to push, right? What are they getting out of these things? So I had made some strong statements, some strong comments, and I backed it up, right? Gave you the evidence. But just today, I found out they're not just talking about it, right? They being about it. And so I thought it was interesting because now this is impacting your banking, but specifically if you're in the UK, they're tracking your carbon emissions, right? So when you go buy things, they are letting you know what kind of imprint that you are making from a carbon emission standpoint. Let's take a look real quick. Shout out to Chelsea, J Chelsea. This is somebody on X that I just happened to find on Twitter. But most importantly, you'll look here. She posted literally screenshots from her banking app. This is for NatWest Bank. Now we're gonna talk about NatWest Bank here shortly and let you know how big they are, because they not no little lows in the game. They a big deal. So, but we'll circle back to that. Just take a look on your screen here. So it breaks it down via categories. This is all of her spending for the month of September. So bills, eating out, shopping. Look at that. 327 kilograms of CO2 emitted. Transportation, 1,398 kilograms of CO2 emitted. Let's go down. Groceries, fun and leisure. You're having an awful lot of fun. Imagine what they're telling you with this information, right? They're telling you they're just tracking it, right? Trying to help you out. But does your gut tell you that that's where this is trending or leading? They just want you to know, right? If so, why does it have to be in my banking, right? Why is my bank telling me that? Right, the same people that can cut off your bank flow, your energetic flow, how you pay for things. It's wild. Here's my favorite part about this, and it's sarcasm, right? I don't love it, but it's just very intriguing. So they sum it up, over 2,200 kilograms of CO2 emitted, and then they tell you that's like flying from London to Kuala Lumpur. So they dig that jab in there, right? That wasn't even a necessary comment, but you're going to say it anyway, right? Let's not stop there. Let's take one more interesting note. Let's lower your footprint, right? So now I have to imagine, I don't have access to this, right? But I have to imagine that the goal in doing that is to provide these tips or these ideas of how you can be better. It's like, let's do better. Let's see what we can do. Right? You had 2,200 kilograms of CO2. That was a lot. Let's do better. Don't you feel like you need to do better? Don't you feel like that was a little excessive? That you traveled around, that you went out to eat, that you had some fun. You had a little bit too much fun. Let's slow down. Jade, Chelsea, come on. Let's do a little bit less. I'm being facetious, but I'm also dead serious. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see where this is going. This is what I'm saying about understanding. So we can't really control the fact that they're moving everything. The previous system based on the United States dollar was not backed by anything real, right? Any gold, silver, anything like that. I told you in the previous videos that they had removed us from that standard back in the 70s. Either way, the system was going to be being replaced. We can't really do much about that. But what we got to realize is that the goal from the elite's standpoint is they want to track everything. With this flip and turning the entire global system to a digital network, a digital blockchain technology, they're trying to add on as much as possible on top of that, right, into the system, because that allows them to, remember, control your energy. I will not stop saying that. Your energy is what they want to, that they care about. They don't care about no money. How can we control your energy? We want to own your energy and know more about your energy than you know about your energy. That's their goal. Gotta understand that. Let's real quick. Remember, I told you I was going to tell you about NatWest. Just for anybody that's in the back saying, well, they might be a small bank, they're just trying something out. Let's look here. NatWest is a large bank with a total assets of approximately 886 billion. They're in the UK market and focus on serving over 20 million customers, right? In the first half of 25 alone, they had a profit, right? Not revenue, profit of 2.5 billion. Right? These ain't no little O's in the game. If I remember correctly, they're also known as like the big four of the UK, like one of the big four. So it's like if you in the US, right? So what do you have? JP Morgan Chase, maybe Wells Fargo, right? These big Wall Street banks, they're the equivalent of that over there. So as much as they could carry weight and decide that they're not going to do this, they are part of the engine pushing this. Do you see where I'm going with this? And if you just wanted to fact check, right, just a simple Google search, right, does NatWest have carbon tracking? Right up top, you'll see yes. So Jade Chelsea or whatever her name was, sorry Jade, I just don't know you like that to really just be saying that, but she ain't just saying stuff. That was her life experience, and just a simple Google search backs it up. All right, they go into detail about how they're trying to track your carbon footprint, right, within the mobile app, discuss your spending, give you tips on what you can do to do better, right? One of the most important things that I wanted to point out here is that they thought it was important for us to know. Important note, some of the original diet-related recommendations removed following feedback. Let's first off, in my banking account, why are you telling me about what diet I should or shouldn't have? Why are you telling me about what I shouldn't? This is my money, right? I'm not talking about like government funded money that you gave to me to make sure I can eat. This isn't EBT money. This is my actual savings money. Why are you recommending what I go eat? I don't need to hear from you on that. I'm not very interested. We've seen what the establishment does when you tell us what to eat. Doesn't turn out well. But that's what they're doing. But that's number one. Number two that I want to point that out for is I want you to think about how powerful that is, though. They actually were able to give so much feedback that they overwhelmed the system and made them remove those dietary restrictions and recommendations. That's why I just take the time to tell you it's too late to try to stop the digital currency shift. That's happening because the United States dollar, which was, right, the global international standard, right, that was not backed by any real assets, gold, silver, right, any precious metals, nothing. Remember, I told you historically that's how trade is usually done, usually by real precious metals, things like that. The dollar is just paper, right? The cash is just paper. It's supposed to represent something, though, right? A real asset is supposed to represent. So because of that, it doesn't matter. It's already too late. The world wants this. All the international parties want this transition. So it's happening. But what we have to say for sure is not allowing them to add all this junk on top of it. We're going to have to talk about it. We're going to have to push back, right? We can't just talk. We're going to have to be about it. But first, we got to raise awareness. If nobody knows that this is the active agenda, then we'll just continue to be slowly sleepwalking into this trap, is what I'm going to call it. Where our healthcare, our food, right, our general peace of mind, all of this is going to be tracked. You're not going to have any independence. There's a video going around of Larry Ellison talking about everybody's going to be on their best behavior. Should we track every little thing that they're doing and have one data center on it? Everybody would be on their best behavior. It's not hard to really figure out what he's really trying to say there. He'll say it like it's a cool thing, like this is a good thing. This is for your protection, for your benefit. All these things are always going to be pushed in that kind of way. So tomorrow, I'm going to put out a video. You can call it like a part 3 on this, but it's literally like a montage of different billionaires, trillionaires, the World Economic Forum, the United Nations. You're going to hear from them. They're going to tell you, see, these are the things that we don't see on the mainstream news. But they have active conversations about everything that I'm talking to you about today. Tracking carbon emissions, that's not anything new. They've been telling us for years that they want to do this. There's been an active agenda on this. Making you take pills and they're going to electronically track it. There's been an active agenda and conversation around this. Notice when you watch this video tomorrow, notice how they pitch it. Innovation. Upgrades to the system. This is really cool technology. This is going to be very safe. These are common sense things. Right? You're going to notice how they pitch it. Because in the close out with this, I keep mentioning turn that TV off, right? And I'm saying that with a reason. The reason being is that if you don't ever turn the TV off, you're not going to comprehend how much information is actually going on and moving around out there in the world around you if you're solely focused on the drama, because that's all the TV really is, drama. Right? When I'll just use myself. When I watch like NFL Sunday Night Football, I like to see a good game. That's what I always say. I just want to see a good game. But a good game, let's just be honest, a good game is the drama, right? We're going back and forth, back and forth. There's all this action, right? Comes down to the last second, boom, plays made, and we see who won and who lost, who won and who failed, right? Who choked in the moment, who rose in the moment. That's just sports, right? But another example, that could be the Real Housewives or something, any reality TV show, Big Brother, Survivor, right? Any of these things, it's the drama. That's what we tune into. I don't want to go too far on this because I know people get emotional, but the Charlie Kirk stuff, the Epstein stuff. What have you learned about Epstein? They talked about it for a long time. What did you learn coming into this year and all that time they spent talking about it? What did you learn? So, I want to end on a positive note. Not everything's all bad, right? This transition to digital currency is not all bad. There's ways that you can take advantage of this shift and grow your wealth, right? And grow your knowledge, grow your energy, take advantage, right? But we still got to also be very conscious and aware of where the slope is, because there is a slippery slope. There's a lot of things that we don't want in this new AI transition. All right, we're going to have to come together as a community, talk about it, be about it, learn and grow together. And I'll be back. I love y'all. Peace.